Hello, good morning. My name is Sean Lara, and I'm your host on this show, Sunday Morning Dose. Today, we'll be looking at inspiring yourself. Inspiring yourself. How do you get yourself motivated? Do you wait for someone else, or you have a method and a mechanism to get yourself inspired whenever you are down? In Matthew 26, verse 39 precisely, Jesus was down. Jesus was down not because he was not fully aware of what was coming, but what was coming was overwhelming, that it could make anyone feel down. But the story is not complete if we do not also read the B part of that same verse. So in Matthew chapter 26 verse 39, going a little further, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me." But he didn't end there. He said, "Yet not as I will, but as you will." Not as I will, but as you will. That his motivation came despite his situation, despite the situation he was in. The situation he was in was that he was about to be sold out by one of his. And it's not an interesting situation at all to be. But Jesus would quickly get back himself motivated and charged. So the best person to motivate an individual, your source of motivation should be from you, should be from yourself. You should have a way of motivating and energizing yourself when you are down. Let's see another person in 1 Samuel verse 30 verse 1 Samuel 30, chapter 30, verse 6b. I love this story. So, what happened in previous chapter was that David and his men had gone to war, but before they returned, some bandits came in and then took almost everything that they had. They took their possession, they took their families away, and then the city was burnt down, and they were devastated. Here is what happened to David in 1 Samuel 30 verse 6. Now David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and daughters. But David strengthened himself in the Lord his God. David strengthened himself. David strengthened himself. I love the way NIRV put it, New International Reader's Version. It says David was greatly troubled. His men were even talking about killing him by throwing stones at him. All of them were very bitter because their sons and daughters had been taken away. But David was made strong by the Lord his God. David was made strong by the Lord his God. By the Lord his God. By the Lord is God. Not by the Lord, their gods now. By the Lord is God. Meaning the motivation David needed came from him. Through his God, not through their God. It came from him. It was an internal generated strength that came into David through the knowledge of his God. I don't know if it's making sense. So it was not their God, it was his God. God had a personal meaning in David's life that David, through psyching himself and getting himself motivated knows that he has a God. He has a God because he is in a relationship with that God. So this week, I want you to get to that point, also like David, that you could be strengthened in the Lord your God. In the Lord your God, not the God of your pastor, not the God of your father, not the God of your mother, but your God. That you come to the point where you get strength internally generated from the knowledge and acknowledgement of God that you have within you. So the biggest source of motivation will not come from external party. We've seen it in the lives of Jesus. He was not counting on his disciples to motivate him to face the task that he was about to face. It was the knowledge of his God that he rested on. And the same way, David also tackled this situation, that he encouraged himself in spite of the mess that they were in. He encouraged himself in his Lord, his God. So this week, I'm going to be encouraging myself in the Lord, my God, which means I am going to depend on God that is in me, the revelation of God that I have that is in me, to strengthen myself through this week. I am not waiting for anyone externally to strengthen me. I will be waiting for an impossible task. The energy that I have is enough. The internal energy that I have is enough to strengthen me, to motivate me. And I'm charging you also to begin to question and charge your internal strength that you have, which is your God. Which is your God. So till we see some other time, same station next week, keep strengthening yourself. Keep motivating yourself in the Lord your God.